Hey everyone, and welcome back to my Completionist playthrough of the Baldur's Gate Saga with SCS. And this is actually my second attempt at recording this, because in the first one I immediately encountered a bug and quit the game to try to fix it. But unfortunately I was not successful. Basically, once we progress up the stairs, there's a certain fellow who is also a potential encounter, but that fight just doesn't work like it's supposed to. So I'm going to make a quick save here, show you what I mean, and then we're going to get back to this save and take a different route. So here's Lonk the Sane. What are you doing here? You should be in your cells with the rest of the wackos. Lonk the Sane takes care of you, but you had better show respect. Everyone gets locked down tonight. Too many people getting agitated. Always happens when the boss experiments. Makes them angry, I guess. Makes them angry, does it? What would happen if they got loose? You're one of them. What would you do? Individually, they can be bullied around, but altogether, they get too excited to control. And normally I would go with this one. That's just what I'm hoping for. Release them all now. You're looking to be difficult, aren't you? I can accommodate that. I don't watch over this place because I'm helpless. But as you will see in a moment, he just charges in and attacks in melee. And I look him up in the game files, and he seems to have all of his scripts assigned appropriately. But obviously something just prevents him from triggering or activating his proper mage script and getting the pre-buffs and getting his SCS intelligence, because he is a level 18 mage, so it's not that big of a deal. You know, we faced opponents like him before, or even more powerful ones, but still a little underwhelming. You know, we could just kill him very easily here, but let's actually go back to our save, and this gives us an opportunity to showcase a different path with Lonk, which is some bribery. And I'm going to do very, very light pre-buffs, because after that segment with Lonk, we get transported directly to another fight. And I think that fight works better if we have no pre-buffs or just minimal ones, because most of our opponents in that fight are also not going to have pre-buffs either. So I just want to make sure that my casters don't get interrupted immediately. So let's give Senashira Iron Skins, Jaheira Iron Skins. Senashira and Edwin still have their stone skins. And I'm going to give MON maybe some mirror images, and then we're going to go in just like that. Alright, let's speak with Lonk once again. And let's take a different approach here. What would be worth to get you to release them? Worth to me? How much is a life going for these days? That new director, Irenicus, would have me quartered in his experiments. He's done it before. And here, if we offer him 10,000 gold, he's actually going to take us for madman, because he's going to say that he has never, seen that amount of gold in his life. And 200 is not going to be enough, but 2,000 is just right. That's going to be just right for him. I could get pretty far on that. Alright, if you want them out so badly, I'll let them out. I had better head straight for the docks and get out myself, though. Irenicus is going to be incensed. So yeah, that's one way of dealing with him, just for 2,000 gold. I would prefer to fight him, but if that's how it's going to be, then at least we can show off this option.
Tonight I'm someone free? What face should I wear for this?
You will wear what face TX orders. Today he rules all!
Silence yourself, diminutive one! Do you not hear the howling? Around on all sides they are!
You will regret the day you cross the will of TX! My conquest of all is not something to be mocked!
Is that the rule of all you survey or beyond? What are those that walk inside and around and through, that stand where you stand now?
None stand where TX stands, lest he walk atop them.
And good old TX.
As I see you do now, and beneath others, do you not see? See them inside and behind and beyond.
Do you not see?
No. You speak too much of what can be seen. I wish to see only my pretties again. I won't look too far. I promise.
Ah! TX is surrounded by fools and madmen. Who is to blame for this outrage? Whom shall TX smite?
Why, there's only one man that stands between you and your rule. Irenicus.
Irenicus? Oh, I took his face once. His punishment was...
To look at him is to see too far. I cannot look to him.
He is None walk where he does, though they see him not.
I would prefer to face the dogs of fire themselves. This Irenicus is surely a tool of the Gibbering 12.
He did this. He did this. We must find him. He is the cause. He is the one that brings the tests. I will not rest until his head is mine and mine alone.
And here, depending on what we say, we're going to have a different inmate respond to that. And this one is going to give us a TX response. So, and this one kind of seems like what Senashir would say. He has tortured the lot of you. Aid yourselves and help me defeat him.
Tiax shall face him alone. Tiax judges you not worthy of helping him, though you may watch if you wish.
What is this? You have released all of my test subjects? How wonderfully mad of you. I did not expect this in the least, so dangerously risky it is.
Also, this doesn't matter which one we go, which conversation option we go for, but let's go with this one. They have rallied around me. We shall all defeat you. As overeager as ever, but your boasting is wasted on me. You are no threat, not even with your army of madness. Your fate has been sealed with the curse I transferred to you. I have the souls of both you and Imoen, and they have healed Bodhi and myself. You will die in our place, or worse. Bodhi tells me you have exhibited a transformation. With your will slowly fading, perhaps the essence of Baal will rise to take you. That would be a sight, I am sure. And here there's going to be a couple people chiming in. Like Wanev wants to take this place as Irenicus perverted it, apparently. You tortured those here long before I arrived. I merely had more purpose to do it. Bah! I speak with madman when I should be at my revenge. What revenge do you have, wizard? You killed my Khalid with no more thought than one would give to a fly. I shall have my revenge. Nature's fury shall strike you down. You used me. You tore apart my soul, and then you ripped it from me. I'll kill you for that, Irenicus. Wow, Imoen being pretty serious here. Your pathetic mulings mean even less to me than Senashira's.
Die, all of you. I have restored my soul and will work my revenge without your interference.
Without your interference. Alright, so here comes an encounter with Irenicus now that we have some support from our fellow wackos. Let's actually gain some distance from him and reposition, because the reality of this encounter is going to change very soon. Some new opponents are going to show up. Let's also see what Irenicus has here. Right, so he has Stone Skin, Improved Mantles. He has Spell Turning and Immunity to Abjuration. So we have to remember about that. We're going to have to Secret Word his Spell Turning and then Spell Thrust his Immunity to Abjuration, and then we're going to be able to get to him. And now these mages, some of them are actually quite powerful, especially Wanev. Wanev is level 18, I think, and he has access to level 9 spells. So depending on what he got when we installed SCS, you know, when it randomizes the spells it gives to people, he might have access to some time stops and stuff, and he might be actually quite a big help. We'll see what he can do. Also, Dradeel, I think, is level 16, and April is level 14, so they are all quite capable mages. I think Nalgir Skal is just a level 9 bard, I think, so he cannot do too much. And Tiax is, of course, is a cleric thief, like he was in Baldur's Gate 1, and I think he's level 10 in both. So, anyway, now let's reposition and let's wait for what's about to happen here. Alright, so Irenicus uses his ability to spawn clones, and he spawns clones of all of our party members, and they actually have access to, you know, our spells, our equipment here. So I didn't change any of my equipment, but you can kind of cheese it by like de-equipping yourself. And, you know, for example, Jaheira, as you can see, she has her armor that we have equipped on her right now, and all that. So she's going to be the most difficult to interrupt, I think, because of her armor class. But anyway, let's allow them to go hostile. Yeah, so here's... not all of them are hostile yet. So I guess some scripts triggered, and now they are basically all hostile. And now we have to make sure that we interrupt them properly. So first, let's see how we are positioned here and what we can do. So generally we're going to focus on trying to kill Senashira first. And these clones, of course, are very capable. They are not like the Durlax Tower clones that barely did anything. These ones actually have access to our spells, our stats and abilities. So leaving Senashira to just act freely is going to be very dangerous. We also would like to interrupt Jaheira, and we want to use, I think, we want to use an insect plague, and I'm going to direct it, I think, on Anomen, who cannot make himself invisible or anything like that. Here, Anomen might interrupt Imoen. Our Imoen, I think, is going to shoot at Anomen, trying to interrupt him. Oh, and there's also Edwin that we need to take care of. So you know what? Actually, Senashira, or maybe Kira and I try to interrupt Edwin. And here we're going to focus most of our attention. Actually, you know what? Let's give the hostile Edwin a little acid arrow from Imoen. Alright, so he should be interrupted. Now we can shoot Anomen. Now Edwin, whenever he can, he's going to use Power Word Stun, I think on Jaheira. No, actually, once we're prepared to kill her, I think we're going to use that. Because this spell, if someone has 90 or more hit points, it's the target is unaffected. But we know that Jaheira has a maximum of 89. And also maybe if we, Senashira right now is injured, and if we read through our combat log, she took like 16 damage from our own Senashira. And I think she might have... I think that's all the damage. Oh no, also 20. So Senashira would also be eligible for being stunned with that, but I think we're going to wait with that for a little moment and we'll see like who we want to really finish off. So now I think all of them are interrupted, except I'm not sure about Imoen, if Imoen was interrupted here. Alright, Wanev also summoned a Mordenkainen sword. And actually, because they are our friends here, their spells, like their buffing spells, work on us and whatnot. And also we get control over their summons, so I'm going to use this Mordenkainen sword to kind of try to occupy Irenicus, because he has some dangerous spells here. Our own Kirnai is getting kind of destroyed here. So we need to get her back, and now our own Insect Plague is in motion, so that should be a big help for us. Right, actually, I think we got also dispelled. Yeah, Imoen, the hostile Imoen was not interrupted and actually removed magic, so Edwin lost his stone skins, and Imoen lost her mirror images, and I think Senashira also lost her protections, as well as Jaheira. So basically we were totally and completely dispelled here. So this is not that great. How is hostile Senashira doing? She is injured. Alright, Imoen doesn't matter right now. We have to focus on killing Senashira. And I think I'm going to move Kiranai over this way. Alright, so she is getting destroyed massively. So let's give her one of our 2 precious potions. And actually get her out of there and try to get her to throw some daggers. And hostile Jaheira actually managed to conjure a fire elemental right next to Edwin and our own Imoen. Alright, now our Insect Plague is spreading, so I think we should be kind of in the clear soon. But actually... Does Edwin... I think he used his Acid Arrow, right? I wanted to cast that on hostile Jaheira here. But anyway, Senashira is almost dead. We might actually maybe use one of these Chain Lightnings. I think Imoen should be safe to cast over there. And I think I am going to use that stun on Jaheira. She's going to be probably one of our next kill targets. Once the spellcasters are disabled, I think Senashira, Jaheira, and Kiranai are going to need to be killed. Probably in that order. Right, we also got affected by Greater Malison. Oh no, those are the hostile guys. Alright, so thank you Dradeel for that help. I want to make sure that Irenicus does not cast at us. I want to remain like as far away from him as possible, which is going to not be that easy with all of these clones like spreading out like that. But you know, I want him to like waste his time and on our friendly mages here. I want them to occupy his attention because we are not yet ready to face him. Alright, can't see too much from from a view like this. Hostile Edwin is near death, which is good. Alright, I think we might add some damage. Did hostile Senashira die here? Right, Irenicus actually has a spell trigger now with spell deflection, spell shield. So that's really not that great because he was dispelled by April. So we have to remember he has spell shield now and spell deflection. Alright, the hostile Jaheira was stunned, so I think I'm going to have Kiranai and our own Jaheira attack her, drop her hit points a little bit. Now, I also had this power word silence prepared, but since everyone is affected by insect plague, that's not going to be needed. I wanted to cast that on Adaman or maybe on Jaheira, depending on how the fight works out. Alright, our own Senashira. Okay, this Senashira is about to die. She has the Boots of Speed, as you can see, and also our own Kiranai died. Oh, because she got critically hit for 62 damage by that fire elemental. Cool. I think we need to protect Edwin here with some stone skins. Alright, the hostile Senashira died, now that this chain lightning was unleashed. I think we need to finish off Edwin while we can. Oh yeah, there's a proper fire elemental here. Because her spell, Jaheira's spell, can summon like a lesser fire elemental, a normal one, or a greater. And there's a certain chance of, you know, a small chance of getting the greater one. But anyway, she got the normal fire elemental. Alright, Edwin now has some protections, and Senashira is getting destroyed by hostile Kiranai, and now the fire elemental also wants to take care of Senashira. Fortunately, the one good thing that happened is that, well, Irenicus is like right in the middle of these mages, so I think he might leave us alone for just a little bit longer. Alright, Wail of the Banshee from Wanev, which is not going to do much. So it seems like when it comes to his level 9 spells, he got Wail of the Banshee and something else. He didn't use a time stop, unfortunately. So it seems like his selection of spells was not that great when it comes to this encounter. Alright, I think the next order of business should be to use a death spell to get rid of this this fire elemental. Because this is, it's going to just be trouble. Alright, John Irenicus, I also forgot to say, this is the first time in our in our playthrough where an opponent has access to high-level abilities, and Improve in Alacrity, or why do I have such a problem saying alacrity, is a high-level ability of a mage that is going to allow him to cast spells one after another without the limitation of one spell per round.
What is it?
So I think we need to heal Senashira here.
Something else? You can count on me.
Alright, so he has protection from magical weapons, we got dispelled.
Speak.
Now that Senashira is kind of free to act, we're going to have to take care of his protections and start working on Irenicus. The hostile Adaman went somewhere, I'm not sure if he died or not, but he doesn't really matter right now.
Yes?
I think we're going to... She has 2 spell thrusts, so let's cast one of them at Irenicus to get rid of his spell shield. Alright, the fire elemental is gone. Now we just have to finish off hostile Jaheira. And what is Irenicus casting? Chaos. Our friendly mages got affected by that. Also, what about our own spell thrust here? Because Irenicus... Okay, this was not cast before. Senashira is casting that. Alright, so the Jaheira's clone is dead, and I think this is Adaman's clone, so he must have died somewhere along the way there, so I think we are completely in the clear. So let's try to remain spread out, and actually it seems like some of the other mages must have removed his Irenicus's spell shield, because it didn't say that his spell shield got dispelled, but his spell protections. But he still has something active on him there, I think. Well, I can't really see from here, and I hate wasting time like this, but yeah, he seems to have some more protections active. Oh yeah, of course, he has spell deflection, and that's something that Spell Thrust does not dispel. So actually, let's go with some more serious dispels here, one more round of those. And then we're going to go in with Breach, and hopefully we'll be able to get to him. And also, Hostile Imoen is actually still alive, so maybe let's try to shoot her. Fortunately, we don't have Kirinai to add some range damage like I wanted. Also, we have Jaheira, and what can you do? I don't want you to get close there. And I don't want to unleash spells at our allies. Like, I could cast Firestorm or something, but let's actually stay... I want to stay on this side of the room also for what happens after this fight. Anyway, Irenicus seems to be pretty busy with the other mages, so that's cool. Alright, and he got completely dispelled, I think, by our guys. So now we can try to breach him, because I think he still has protection from magical weapons. And then, since Hostile Imoen has wandered into a pretty bad position for her, let's actually finish her off. Alright, he has Stone Skin. Okay, it was Hostile Imoen that was interrupted. And I think we can actually get some magic damage now on Irenicus. Although we don't need it right now, because I think he's improved alacrity, yeah, is not there anymore, so I think we can just go in. Actually, I'm going to leave Anoman and Jaheira out there. Just use our speedy Senashira to go in and attack from range with Imoen. Maybe let's give him a little flame arrow. Actually, I think I'm going to have Jaheira approach as well. Alright, now he's casting. We might be able to interrupt him. Right, he has absolute immunity. So, Imoen cast right now. I think the person who has not casted is Senashira, but she can be interrupted because she has no protections and she's like right in Irenicus' face. So we'll see if that is going to be successful. Actually, I think I'm going to get Anoman in there as well. Alright, that's Dradeel's spell sequencer. Oh, whoops. I didn't want to talk to April. I wanted to select Imoen here. Right, he actually went invisible. And fortunately we have this True Seeing on Anoman, but I wanted to use it a little bit later. And we don't have Kirinai with her Detect Illusion, unfortunately. But Irenicus is still out there. Okay, Dradeel summoned the Fiend, which is not good actually, because I think they're going to be hostile to us. Alright, so Irenicus is over there. Let's keep fighting. Oh, and he has an improved mantle again. Alright, I think we can cast a breach now with Edwin. And actually, I think I'm going to just quickly kill that Fiend. And while we're waiting. Yeah, it's hostile and it's a Glabrezu. That's a level 8 spell that Summon Fiend. Need some magical weapons to quickly deal with it. Okay, and Irenicus is casting, so let's try to interrupt him with some magic missiles.
Damn you all! Why do I fight over this place when my plans may be laid anywhere? I must start anew. Have your victory here then, but know that you are dying on the inside even now. Many will join you before I am done. My home will feel my wrath. Here, fight amongst the mindless assassins I would sacrifice. I shall fight others to serve my needs. This place is yours. I hope it is your too.
So yeah, he leaves now. So finally we have reduced his HP to the necessary amount, but he unleashes, you know, some kind of a spell that actually, unfortunately, kills all of our friendly mages, which is very, very unfortunate. It's a shame that they have to die. So yeah, in the fight they are kind of expendable, also, and yeah, we still have that Glabrezu that we have to quickly kill. Like, thanks Dradeel, or whoever that was, for summoning him. Yeah, let's just try to unleash some magic missiles, because Glabrezus have kind of a mirror image effect that they can renew a lot. And they have some magical resistance, and also... Dang, it's not really how I wanted this thing to progress here, because he mentioned some assassins, Irenicus mentioned some assassins that he is willing to sacrifice, and they are going to stream in from this doorway, and I wanted to create a choke point for them. There's also Yoshimo, who has now appeared, so our fight is far from over, actually, and we have no protections on our mages. Oh, this is really not good how this worked out. We are not really getting to that Glabrezu because we have like no buffs, we have no equipment. Anyway, when we can, we need to create a situation here. I want to unleash a web here to hopefully stop the streaming of invisible assassins who are going to attempt to backstab us. And I also wanted to unleash a cloud kill over there. And fortunately, Anomen's True Sight is still going, and is going to keep going for a couple of more rounds, and that's also to reveal the assassins that start out invisible. Let's actually have Yoshimo talk with us here.
You are, I see. Why do you hear you? You are dead inside already. Irenicus has seen to it.
I am left to finish your physical shell. We couldn't really hear his dialogue all that much over the combat sounds, but anyway, we could be like, how could you do this? We had traveled so long together. I can't fight it, Senshira. I can't. I was in his service first, and all those that follow him must undergo a Aegeus. I was willing at the time, but now... Do you know what happens when you try to defy a Aegeus? It hurts. It hurts and then you die. His spells are powerful, Senshira. So powerful. And we can even try to help him. This does not have to be like this. I believe it does. I can wither and die for failing to kill you, or I can fall in battle and pray that my heart will find purchase with Ilmater.
No redemptions. No second chances. Let us get this over with.
I stride into the hell that Irenicus promised. Ilmater, take my heart. I have no choice. That's actually a kind of a clue. So yeah, now we have Yoshimo on us as well. We need to renew our protections on Senashira for sure.
I hear you well enough.
Alright, this Glabrezu, he might just be busy with that Mordenkainen sword. It's so good that we have it. Alright, the Cloud Kill is coming. Amoen is going to need some stone skins. And I think we should be fine other than that. Alright, so Yoshimo has kind of an invisibility power here. And he's going to attempt to backstab us as well. Yeah, and here you can see these murderers being held. So, yeah, here's one of them. So that's... I want to kind of slow down their attack here. Because there's going to be quite a few of them. And, you know, once they get onto you, start backstabbing, going invisible all the time, you know, it's not going to be that pretty. I think I'm going to also unleash another fireball from Imoen. Now that she's protected, we don't have anything that's more important than that. And yeah, we just really need to get rid of Yoshimo. Alright, so some of them kind of died on their way. What could you do, Edwin, here? Could also maybe attempt to throw in a slow somewhere in here to further debuff them. Alright, Jaheira is stunned, unfortunately, and... Okay, the Glabrezu is still interested in fighting the magical sword, but the Mordenkainen sword is not going to last for that much longer. It's kind of a short duration summon. So kind of need to get in there and just destroy him. Fortunately, he doesn't seem to activate his mirror images all that much, if at all. Since he was summoned by one of our friendly mages. Okay, so now the sword is gone. Yeah, I don't think he gets the... I'm not sure what kind of script this Glabrezu gets. He still can use his spells. Alright, we need to get Senshiro out of there. Alright, now he's a copycat, man. He's just a copycat. Now he's doing that. So let's try and reduce the amount of his mirror images. Oh, and also I think that was because we had our true sight active on Animan. So that just kept dispelling his mirror images, or he was just not willing to use them too much. Right, but it's near death. Okay, Sinashira is now stunned. Let's continue with our magic. Good thing we had so many of these magic missiles memorized here. Come on, dude. Die. You need to die. Oh, and there's... Oh my god, now Animan is stunned as well. And there's another murderer. I just heard his line. Yeah, Sir Animan is now stunned. Oh man, that is not good at all. Let's try and throw a glitter dust in there. And Animan, I think, is going to die. Now that he's getting backstabbed. And we don't really have too much that we can offer here. We might attempt to throw in a chaos to perhaps discourage that murder. Okay, Animan died. Now both the Glabrezu and the murderer are blinded. But we have no more mirror images. And hopefully he's not going to use his magic resistance to resist this flame arrow, because it's kind of our last hope here. Alright, Jaheira is with us now, but she really cannot do too much. We might have to summon this fire elemental to help us in this situation. This dire, dire situation. Yeah, he has his mirror images again. Alright. Oh, finally! Thank you, Edwin. That flame arrow. And fortunately, these two... I think those are those should be the two last murderers. They are now under the effects of chaos. Oh man. Alright, that's good. What else can we offer them here? I should have summoned actually our own Mordenkainen sword. But I think that there was no time really to do that. I also forgot to pre-buff Jaheira with strength. Right, without their backstabs, they're not that dangerous. Alright, so we have suffered some casualties, but nothing too major. Nothing too major at all. Alright, now we have Sinashira back. Alright, boom. Jeez. Okay, there's actually another one. And Jaheira needs to get away. Let's try to soak his... Actually, you're going to go invisible, and let's try to soak his backstab with some of our stone-skinned characters, like Imoen here. Alright, I think we can actually go back to fighting here. Right. Is this all? Is this all of you? It doesn't seem like there are any more of these murderers around. Alright, so that was a pretty intense fight with like everything, almost everything that could go wrong went wrong, but we are through. We've managed to do it. And I think this is a pretty good place to finish the episode, looking at the time here, but in the next episode, we're going to look at the aftermath of this encounter, and we're going to get our equipment back very soon. So we're going to be able to resurrect our fallen and, you know, engage in further adventures. So I thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode, this fight, and I'll see you next time.